Welcome to your 7th session of the 7 Minutes in 7 Days Beginner Series 1. So we're going to start seated today in what's called a C-curve of the spine. So bring your feet and knees in parallel. You don't have to have your toes pushing down the floor. Just try to sit upright if you can. And then bring the hands behind your knees. You can see I've got some blocks behind me. We're going to use them in a moment as well. But for now, you're just trying to find your C-curve. So the spine is lifted and the crown of the head is pushing up towards the ceiling. Now from here, we're going to use our stomach muscles to pull back slowly. So we're going to roll back into C-curve and then lift back up to the spine. So stomach muscles pull in from the sides in towards the middle, which stretches the back, and then you lift back up into your straight position. So we roll back, letting the head come slightly forward, and then push the chest forward, lift the crown of the head. So I'm using my hands to support. So if you have, you can feel this is a more challenging position, you use your hands, and we can go slightly further back as well, and then lift back up to the spine. So rolling away, so the tailbone rolls under, and then you lift and you stretch back up again. We do a few more. So this is part of a lot of exercises in Pilates and how to connect your stomach muscles when we move the weight of the upper body away from your midline, and then lift back up again. So we support, roll back, and then lift, and then pushing the chest forward. Now, the full version would be legs forward and then rolling back into the floor. So you can feel this is much more weight now. So what we're going to do, and you can, if you want to, create this wedge at home. So you're just placing one block one way and then the other one this way, and making sure it's supporting me when we come down. Now, so I'm going to use my leg as a weight. So I'm going to keep one leg still. It's going to stay down, and then this leg is going to be heavy into the hands. Now, we need to still find our C-curve. So the tailbone rolls and the chin comes slightly forward, leaving the leg behind, and then find your wedge. And I'm going to push the leg forward and trying to use stomach muscles to lift the upper body forward. So same as you go down. So you're keeping the leg there just as an extra bit of help, but it's a stomach exercise. So we're trying to use those stomach muscles to roll into your block, and then pushing the leg forward. So you can see I can use it as a lever as well, but I'm trying to use my stomach muscles to just slowly go down, and then the knee can come in, and then I'm pushing the leg away, and then pushing the foot down towards the floor. And just do a couple on the other side as well. So we lift the knee, and it's heavy into the hand, soft to the hip, and then keeping one leg down if you can, and then roll into your C-curve, and then place yourself onto your wedge or the height that you created, and then push back up again. So I'm keeping the leg heavy now, trying to just use stomach muscles, keeping the leg still, or bring it in if you like, but push it away before you come up, and then lift, and then rise back up again. So we do one more. So we roll back, pushing down into the block, push the leg away, long arms, pushing the foot down towards the floor, and then taking the blocks away, and then coming down to the floor. So coming all the way down. Now you can use that position that we just did, or do your side transition and then push down in towards the floor. Now from here we go straight into rotation. So find your neutral spine, which is a small gap under your back, maybe a cushion under your head, and then draw the rib cage down slightly. Now I'm going to take my arms out now and just place the palms down just below shoulders, and then starting to move the knees and the hip, and then roll the hip back and then the knees. So I'm not rotating so far that the shoulder blade comes off the floor. It's just a hip roll, and then bring the knees back. So rotate over, bring the knees back, so knees and hip, allowing the feet just to move on the floor. Now the breathing pattern comes in. So we're going to breathe in to lift, and then breathe out to take the knees out to the side. Breathe in to lift again, and then breathe out to take the knees out to the side. Now I'm going to add another thing here. I'm going to move my head. So I'm going to turn the head to the opposite side of where the knees are going. So knees and hips are going one way, and then you turn your eyes looking towards your fingers. And then you turn the head and knees back, and then change side again. So we roll looking over towards the other hand, and then roll back again. Roll out to the side, look towards your fingers, and then roll back in again. So knees, hip, bit of the spine, looking over your shoulder, and then coming back. Now I can change the arm position. We're going to just warm up the shoulders a little bit first. So I'll take the arms up towards the ceiling, take them back behind you. This is your rib cage closure. And then taking the arms back down again. So lift the arms, keeping the chest soft. And then bring the arms back and then all the way down. Just do 2 more so we get a bit of movement in shoulders. And then taking the arms back down, chest and hips are staying still. You're looking straight up towards the ceiling. And then we're going to add the arms a little bit higher. Depends on your shoulder girdle now. So instead of having them down here, take them a little bit more out to the side, T position, turn the palms up. And if that's comfortable, keeping the shoulders down, just take them a bit higher into a V shape. And then we start rotating. So we take the knees out, the hips, and then we rotate, looking over the shoulder, and then roll back again. So trying to keep your shoulders down on the back, into the floor, into the mat. So if this feels like way too much for the shoulder girdle, just bring the arms into your T position or further down below your shoulders. So we roll, looking over the shoulder, and then roll back, looking over the shoulder, and then come back, looking over the shoulder, and then one more time. Now, so we have an idea of how to come off the floor now if you're using the leg. So you either roll to your side, same as we did before, or we can now use the leg. So we haven't got the wedges anymore, but we can still try to see if this will help. Now hold the back of the knee. You're going to push the leg away and straighten out the arms and pushing the foot down at the same time as you lift, using your stomach muscles. So we lift the head and shoulders, pushing the foot down. Keep pushing it down as you lift. And then coming into your seated position. And then we can try the other leg. Remember, if this feels like too much of a challenge right now, you know how to come off the floor. So lift the head and shoulders, push the leg away, push the foot down, lift, up to seated, and then bring one knee in, stomach muscles roll back, keeping one leg still, and then roll into the floor. Bring the knee in with you. Lift the head and shoulders, stretch those arms out, and then push the foot down into the floor. And then lift the knee, and then we breathe out. We use the C curve, rolling down with the tailbone and the back into the floor. And then lift the head and shoulders, and then roll up, pushing the foot down. Now, you can also place a small cushion here underneath the lower back. That will help your back to push, so stomach muscles can push down. So it doesn't have to be flat on the floor. And then lift, pushing the foot down, roll up, and we can also add those wedges. So you can always modify this exercise. Keeping the leg heavy, head and shoulders down, lift the head and shoulders, pushing the foot down, and then come back up to seated. Great. Well done for today.